I'm going to talk to you today about the shift that has happened already, not upcoming. I'm going to talk to you about the golden era that is happening now, not coming. I'm going to talk to you today about the events happening right now and what you can do today that could actually change it. I'm talking right now because every thought counts. Are you ready to go into an amazing, expansive space, a whole reality shift? This is real stuff. I'm going to talk to you on a high level. I know you're ready for this. You can implement this and step out of the veils. You ready to do that? Let's go. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an amazing life. Are you ready to do that? We are going through big events. What is the big event? It is actually a series of things constantly. It's going to be a series of things that are called, I call no tolerance. All right? What's no tolerance? We're saying it's not okay anymore for that to be in my reality, and so I therefore will not participate. It is not conflict and no, and let's battle it. It is not that. The ego thinks, all right? Awakening and going into that, what I call the knowing, there are no thoughts. If there is thought behind something, even if it is a positive one, it's still ego-based. I know you're going to say, what? Well, let me explain. Because the ego is a part of the human experience no matter what. It's the frequency within it that we get to choose. Now, why do I say thinking of any kind is ego? Because ego says good or bad, categorizes, and has an opinion on anything because it separates. There's a separation of some kind. When you go into super awakened state, and I call it the knowing, you know that you are not separate. There's nothing to think about or label or fight for. There's no causes. There's nothing. You go into a space of just pure peace. There's no judgment of anything. There's no thought that has to go behind anything. That's a human experience. So what are we going to do right now? You actually creating constantly with the thought. It's a directive, directive, directive. When you go into the knowing, there's nothing to create anymore. You are actually in all things. And so in my advanced manifesting teaching, the final stage, we actually manifest without a thought. I teach you to do that. That's advanced. Why? You say, I have to have a thought to create something. No, you don't. A desire isn't a thought. You have what I call the knowing. You know what you would like to create, or I should say create in the material world. You know it. You just know it. You don't have to say, I'm going to say a mantra or light a candle or put up a vision, but you don't even have to do all that stuff. That's advanced manifesting. Not everybody's ready for that. And you will have challenges along the way. It doesn't just all show up because we have to evolve as human beings. That's what's happening right now. All of these events, the big event is the constant changing, dissolving, and making higher choices. Now, this doesn't have to happen. It's all a choice. We can change. Anybody who tells you to pick up any kind of weapon, or anybody that tells you that you should go into conflict or oppose anybody for what they want or what we should want, is of the darkness. Yes, you cannot fight for peace. It's impossible. You're creating the very thing that's opposing it. We have to go into a higher realm, a higher frequency, if we want to create that world. And you get to choose that. Maybe you're not ready for it. Maybe you like the conflict. Maybe you love watching the false media. And maybe you love all of this, great soap opera kind of stuff going on out there. It can be addictive. Why? Because it's so not what we are. It's fascinating. But are you ready to go into a completely different world? Because you and I are creating it right now. Now, there's an advanced manifesting technique that I teach. I have a new course out. And here's what I'm going to share with you today. Every single thought is changing everything. So how do we change the thoughts? So I want you to absolutely take something and focus on it. And that includes the peace and the love of the very thing that you think is the problem out there. All right? Not to change it. I'm not here to change you and you should be different or you should, I don't like how you, no, we're not going there. What we're going to do is we're going to take that person and see them as perfect. We're going to take that organization or that country and whatever it is and see it as perfect. Because that's what it becomes when you see it that way. It will start to transform. If you see the problem that you want to correct, you are focused on the problem. Does this make sense? What you focus on, you reinforce. Here's how healers have demonstrated healing techniques. They don't see the illness. They see the perfect body. They see the perfection. They see the person as a perfect being. And so they are projecting that reality. And now that person has to accept it. The same thing goes out there. We can project all kinds of amazing things, and then there's still a choice on the other side of free will. We've got a lot of construction going on here. It's not going to go away, so I might as well keep going. And what we want to do is we want to see the world as perfect. We want to see the others as perfect. We want to see everything as a perfect light being, making whatever choices that they are, because we know that they want to experience that journey, and from it they learn, and so do others. That's all it is. So when we judge and say it's wrong, we want it to go away. We're seeing the world as wrong. We're seeing others as wrong. Does this make sense? All these events that are happening, they're going to clear up the things that we are no longer participating in. So you're going to see people saying, instead of running around, where am I going to put my money next? You're going to chase that all day. Banks, all this other stuff, looking at political figures and what they say and who's the enemy and who's lying. It's all bull crap. All of it is. All of it is. All right? Because any conflict is of a lower frequency, and you're in there with insanity. You're in the basement, scrounging around with the mold and the rats. Nothing wrong with rats, by the way. But that's going to be your life, because a rat hangs with a rat. It doesn't hang with a donkey. Right? Well, maybe it does, but not for long. You want to go up to the penthouse. Up there, we have a beautiful view. We drink champagne. Why? Because that's the reality we're creating. We see the beautiful world. And it isn't without the challenges, but we know the challenges are exactly the way they should be, because that's why that person came here. They wanted to experience huge ego. They want to experience violence or illness or whatever it is they're doing. They chose to experience that. And if you call it wrong, then you're judging again. This is tough, because we have to come out of these veils. We got to pull these veils down, because we keep thinking, if I think that this is, I'm out with the good guys, it's still the ego going and going, and the events will keep happening and happening. But which side are you going to be on it? There's no actual real side, but let's talk metaphorically. You're going to have to shift into whatever side says, I'm going to create. I'm no longer going to participate. It's not that you oppose it. You stop participating in it. Okay, does this make sense? I'm not going to eat the toxic food. I'm not going to use the plastic. I'm not going to give my kids the crap from the grocery stores loaded with preservatives. I mean, have you ever seen lettuce? You can sit in there for 2 weeks and be okay, right? You pick it out of your garden, within 2 hours, it starts to wilt. What's up with that? We're poisoning ourselves. It can't happen unless we participate. We have to go into this other, and that's what's happening. The events. So this down here, which has not been healthy for us, which we participated in, it's not an enemy, is having to shift. But we have to clean it up. So all that plastic in the oceans is not going to go away. So we now have to go into the higher light and go in and say, how do we now, I could say heal, see it as perfect. That means we have to do something with what has caused all of this illness, all of this pollution, all of this disrespect. And so we go in and we don't complain or blame other people. We just stop being the problem, and we create a completely different world. So the events continuing to happen. It is all good. It's all good, but you have to be on it. Now the veils are that you're still judging, you're still pointing fingers. If you think anybody else is the problem, there's the problem. Hey, this is a spiritual butt kick, right? I haven't said that in a while. This is a spiritual butt kick. If you don't like it, shut your pie hole. So we look at all of these things going on and we say, wait a second, that's not happening to me. I'm participating in it because I'm a powerful being, and I can't participate in it unless I have some kind of an agreement or a focus or a directive. It's all entanglement. It's all a choice, 100%, right? The authorities are a problem. No, they're not. Your response and what you do with your life is 100% your control. You know, and if you see them problem, you're opposing again, and you're not in unity. And if we don't come together as one, you cannot oppose anybody and go into conflict of any kind. All right? It's impossible to do that and go into awakening, go into the golden era. It's not allowed there. You don't resonate down here, right? Doesn't even see you. So until you come up to this frequency, you can't participate in that amazing world. So ask yourself what you're doing, what you're thinking that is opposing, that's pointing fingers, that's a victim, that's self-sabotaging. I hear this constantly. That's the big one. People do stuff and they know what they're doing. I said, so why are you doing it? I don't know. I said, it's called self-sabotage. And they go, I know. How do I stop it? And so I teach you how to stop it. You guys have seen free stuff. Come on over, be one of my students. I've got a couple more seats. Breakthrough Fear. We're blowing the socks off of everybody and going into this space where we get it. I want you to get it if that's the space that you want to step into. I want you to get it and realize all those other thoughts, they're veils. They're not real. Pull them down. It's conditioning. We are breaking out into that amazing, beautiful space. Are you ready to do that? Recognize the thoughts, the separation, the pointing the fingers. There's nothing bad nor good. There is nothing wrong. It's all just choices and experiences, and how we entangle with it determines our own energy field. That's the test. Nobody doing anything wrong. Experiences. We can make choices. That's all it is. It's the school, my friend. It's the master school. You ready? Oh my gosh. They're putting in pipelines for water drainage here for our future hurricanes. Somebody said, why'd you move to Florida? I said, because it's great. I love it. Well, you know, it's supposed to be underwater. I said, yeah, they said that, 50 years ago? It hasn't happened. Why? Because we changed it. And if we go under and I'm in it, glub, 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 see you in the next life. Maybe not. I don't think I'll come back here. You spend your life worrying about this stuff. Or you can spend your life manifesting, creating, going into spaces that you never thought possible. Come on over. We're doing it. So I hope you'll subscribe. Share this. I want people to know that they're powerful. Join my email list. I got cool free stuff for you, starting with a free mobile app. What am I manifesting? Help you to switch that thinking all day. Of course, you guys know these are free videos for creating online businesses. We're creating stuff. We're becoming business owners, entrepreneurs. We're doing good things. Choose it. Don't choose it. Trust me, you're going to want to choose it. It's not about your stuff or being right or wrong. It's about that energy field that you are putting out there. Raising it, lowering it, participating, separation, oneness. It's all a choice. Do not get sucked into the opposition and conflict that people will try and convince you is right. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings, my friend. Namaste.